it's me, and I'm just going to give you a video number by number of some of the stuff that Tiger was really specific about the other day with notes. So the first thing that affects you guys, because he didn't do your tracks in the opening, so that doesn't affect you guys, but we did do some jive stuff that was really precise with pencil skirts. And the first thing that affects both of you is the purse girl moment. So what he really is looking for is jive to be a little bit more quirky in movement, so that it doesn't just turn into snapping. And he would like the three purse girls to be the gossipy, bitchy girls that are not playing to the audience. So Michelle, when you call the girls over and you have your little purse moment, he does want that to have a little bit more attitude for all three girls, so that it's not just stepping with the leg up, but it has a little bit more in the shoulder and the body, so you can make that kind of your own. And then he doesn't want you guys to play that to the audience. So Michelle, he suggested that you call the girls in and that you can be looking at Louie and Keely. And then on the little hip roll, these little gossip moments need to be to each other, the three of you as a little trio, as opposed to the audience. So again, just coming in, playing this to the band, adding a little bit more to it, and then going back to your spot. The first thing that he did in the dance break was the little chassés in. All of our arms are getting a little bit too straight for his liking on the chassés in. It's getting just a little bit too textbook and technical. So he does want us to bend at the elbow and then break the wrist each time we're stepping. And he does want to see a push off the floor on the way in. So as opposed to gliding into it, he does want to see a little up and up and up and up when we come in for the first dance break. Going over this material, he wants us to, again, lock the elbows, keep our arms really nice and straight, almost like they're squeezing at your side, because he feels like we're missing the rocking position with the body. It's really just kind of turned into arms this way. So he's really adamant about when the hips are forward, the arms are back, and so on and so forth. Hips are back, arms are forward. So it really has this rocking motion in the body. And then moving on, when we do this step touch, he really wants this to be coming from the back of the arms. Some of them are turning into elbows. So he really wants to see that coming from the back. And the focus is to the saxophone player. Again, he wants this to be a little bit more playful, and he used the word sexy, so that it doesn't just turn into textbook. And then on the whiplash, we're losing the 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So just make sure that instead of just switching bevels, you're stepping up and then pulling it back, stepping up, pulling it back. He was adamant about wanting to see this release, pulling back, so that it feels like a pull back from the arms, so that we're going a 1 pull, a 1 pull, a 1 pull, as opposed to just hitting the position. So really see that release in the arms. Good. For the second dance break, just more vocals on our way in when we come in. This little moment here, he does want it to be more hippie, so that the pencil skirt girls have a little bit more going on with our bodies and our attitude, and being a little bit cuter with it. So again, from here, think about pushing your hip out as opposed to just the arm. So it's going to go hip and hip around, back, front, back, front. He does want this to just be a little cutesier. So we can make something of this. From here, as far as the arms go, let them release a little bit more from your body. He said some of us have just gotten really close, and there is a flex in the wrist on the way out. So it's going a flex, flex, flex. 7, 8. There's that little up and over that he wants to feel the dynamic of like putting on the jacket sleeve, not snaking the arm, but just have that up and over. Now from here, he did go ahead and change and clean up the dynamic of this little push. 7, 8, it's become too army, and he doesn't want us to break at the waist anymore and lose our heads. It's all about the hips. So from here, he wants us to lock behind and then think of pushing into the back hip, and then lock behind, pushing into the back, lock behind, pushing. So it's more about the hip area. He had us us all just doing this side to side because that's the same dynamic is what he wants to see from here. Lock, push back, lock, push back, lock, push back. And then 7, 8. From here, just to clean the rest of the dance break, he does not want this to just be arms. He wants our wrists and knees to be married to each other. So take your knees with the movement so that it's rocking side to side. So it's a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more fun. So we're gonna do 3 down, 1 up. So after the 7, 8, we go 1, 2, 3, up, 4, to then straight the elbows, 5, 6. From here, he wants a full wrist roll, 7, 8, to face each other. So as opposed to 5, 6, and then just a half one, he wants from here, 5, 6, full wrist roll. On the pike, a change that he made, do not lose the head. So we're not gonna lose the head on the pike. You're gonna look straight across at your opposite, and these are pointer fingers as opposed to an open hand. So he wants this to point to your friend. Keep your head up, which I've had a hard time doing, but I'll get there. And then lose the head on the booty scooch way back, which we've lost the dynamic of that little booty scooch. So really use your hips there and your butt on that way back. So just again, coming in, you want to not lose the head on the pike, look at your friend, and then lose the head on the way back. So those are just some jive notes. It's taking us a little bit just to get in our body because we're so used to doing other dynamics, but he was really adamant about the pushing into the hip on the lock, push, so it's more about the hip as opposed to this motion. Cool, thanks you guys.